Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Nightcap, hosted by yours truly. Yes, it's me. Yes, it's me. It's M-I-K-E. It's the man that likes to mouthing off with Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Friday Night SmackDown was incredible, but I'm not here all alone. I've got a nice panel here. Dare I say, you could call it the Nightcap four-way. We got to talk a little Roman Reigns return. We got to talk a little SmackDown. And we got to talk a little breaking news from yours truly. So without further ado, let's get into introducing my panel tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, he was supposed to be on the SummerSlam Nightcap. He billed it the biggest after party of the summer, but unfortunately, those Wyatt Six cut his power, and he was unable to make it. But ladies and gentlemen, I've got one half of Booking Like a Mark. The man is a whiz when it comes to 8-bit. I've got Eric 8-bit in the building. What's going on, good brother? How you doing tonight?
Hey, feeling good. Incredible SmackDown. Can't wait to discuss it with you guys tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, and I'm hoping the Wyatt Six have left you alone for the rest of for the rest of this evening. That's not all who we've got on the show, ladies and gentlemen. You saw him on the Nightcap just about a week ago. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one half of Over the Top Talk. I've got the big O in the building. How we doing tonight, Owen?
What's up, everybody? You caught me, acknowledging my tribal chief who returned. Eric, Mike, can't wait to discuss with you guys. So let's do it.
Absolutely. And it looks like, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. What am I hearing here? Hold on a second. I'm hearing something. I'm hearing some rumblings here. What's going on? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the other half of Over the Top Talk. I've got the big A. We got the big A and the big O tonight. How we doing tonight, Anthony?
We are doing great with everybody saying L.A. Night. Yeah.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you all for spending your Friday evening with me here on the Nightcap. We've got comments rolling in. We got Four Sides of the Ring here. Shout out to my good brothers at Four Sides of the Ring. Eric, if I remember correctly, you were on Four Sides of the Ring this week, right? Oh, all right.
Yes, I was. Awesome time with them. We spoke about everything from SummerSlam, Raw, SmackDown, even some NXT, and some two of them went to AEW. So awesome episode. I don't know if it dropped yet, but when it does, highly recommend you guys go check it out.
Absolutely. And I know the Over the Top Talk boys here hosted a little trivia action this past week. Fellas, give the people some insights into how that went down.
So on Wednesday, we had three competitors, our friends Jesse, Leo, and Joe. Kicking it with Leo, as always, came out on top. He's now the Over the Top Talk trivia champ. We will be doing another one of those coming up this week, possibly on Wednesday. We will let you guys know on the Instagram. Quick plug, Over the Top Talk on Instagram. So
right there, ladies and gentlemen, scrolling down on the bottom of your screens. Well, fellas, I think there's been enough talking. Let's get into Friday Night SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the undisputed champion, is going to kick us off here on SmackDown. And it looks like his next challenger has been revealed, but he's reluctant to accept the challenge. That's the prize fighter, fellas, Kevin Owens. What do we think about this opening segment of SmackDown? Let's send it over to my man, Eric.
I didn't see Kevin Owens showing up to be the challenger. I mean, it makes sense. He helped him. Cody likes to reward people who help him, but I definitely see a twist coming. I mean, WWE likes to throw us some curveballs. Kevin Owens has a history of going heel. Is he going to turn on Cody? Or is it going to be like where you have the contract signing where all they do is compliment each other? Who knows? And we'll just have to wait and see when this all unfolds.
I like it, Eric. I like where the head's at. My over-the-top talk, fellas. What do we think about this opening segment of SmackDown? And what do we think about Kevin Owens potentially turning heel, like Eric said?
Guess I'll start here.
Yep.
By the way, I really liked, the starter when Cody, completely torched Solo on the mic and just made him walk all the way back up the ramp. But I was really shocked to see that, Kevin Owens is going to be the next competitor. I do think this is going to be a way that we get a heel KO, because I just don't see them doing a face versus face matchup. I just don't see that at all. But yeah, I know this match is going to probably cook if it actually finishes and the bloodline stays out of it. But yeah, that's all I got.
I like it. Let's go to the big A. What are your thoughts here, my man?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Owen here. I think we're gonna see a Kevin Owens heel turn. It's inevitable pretty soon. I think we did see him get a little bit frustrated, when Nick Aldis says, "Oh, I'm thinking about giving Roman Reigns a shot at the title," and Kevin Owens like, "Wait, what? He hasn't been here in like 120 days, and you're just gonna give him a championship?" So I think we're gonna see Kevin Owens kind of get more frustrated throughout the weeks. And then we're going to get that heel turn. We're going to get, that slimy heel that we all know Kevin Owens can be. So, I think the match is going to be great. And, yeah, I can't wait for it.
I like it. I'm glad you brought that up about Kevin Owens and Nick Aldis, because we did see Nick Aldis, Cody, and Kevin Owens having a little powwow. And like you said, Roman Reigns' name was brought up, and KO kind of just lost it. And Nick Aldis, that's all Nick Aldis needed to see to give him that title opportunity. He just wanted him to fight for it and to prove that he is that prize fighter, Kevin Owens. So I like that. The good shout out there. I almost forgot about that. Let's go to some of these comments here. Oh, say their name and they appear. It's Booking Like a Mark. Eric representing the brand. Absolutely. Eric puts on for Booking Like a Mark. Absolutely. We got Beat the Presidents here, ladies and gentlemen. The Prez is in the building. So, hunkered down on the swear jar here tonight. Love the backdrops tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do love what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
I also dress up. I wear my my fancy shirt. So
yes. I love the fancy shirt. We've got Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees. What's going on, good brother? If you're not subscribed to Derek, go check him out. Happy SmackDown. What a great show tonight. They are gaining lots of momentum after SummerSlam. Love it. I agree, Derek. Absolutely. I know Derek's got an episode coming out this week, so go show him some love. He's a great guy. Will Randy Orton get a shot? Wow. All right. Shout out to Asa Gray S. Fellas, we'll pose this up to the panel here real quick. I believe that what will end up happening here in the next week is that because Cody Rhodes gave Kevin Owens an opportunity, Randy Orton is going to feel some type of way, and the Viper is going to, in fact, bite Cody Rhodes. Now, what are your thoughts? Will Randy Orton get a shot at Cody Rhodes? And will Randy Orton be upset? Let's take it to Owen this go round.
Once Orton, I don't see him winning at the next pay-per-view Bash Berlin. I just don't. I don't see KO winning either. I think I want them to kind of save Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I feel like it would hit more if it was at WrestleMania type of moment. But then again, you have John Cena, so I don't know what they're going to do with that as well. So I do think Randy Orton's shot is going to come very soon, especially because Cody, it seems like they're struggling to find competitors for him. I don't know if that, if anyone would agree with that, because, they kind of chose Kevin Owens kind of randomly. But, yeah, I do see Randy Orton within, the next couple months.
I like it. Let's see. Let's hear it, Big A. What are your thoughts here?
I think I do agree with Owen here that Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes is definitely a WrestleMania feel match. That's a huge match. But yeah, I could see them kind of exploring that soon, relatively soon. Kind of a group little powwow going on there. I think because they go together. Kevin Owens and Orton right now go hand in hand. So I could see him kind of feeling some kind of way, having a little tick on his shoulder after Gunther. I could see him maybe getting screwed during the Gunther match possibly, and that can kind of give him more of a tick. And, he might just lash out on Cody wanting this opportunity. This is his own brand. You got to remember that. SmackDown's his own brand, and like Kevin Owens is getting the shot first. They were best friends in Legacy and all that. So, we could possibly see a heel turn Randy Orton, RKO coming Cody's way soon.
I like it, Anthony. Good point about the Legacy comment. Eric, what are your thoughts here?
I noticed if you look at the calendar for the next PLEs, you have a big one coming. Atlanta, Georgia. Bad Blood. Legacy, Bad Blood. I mean, they're going to have to represent the WWE title somehow. It's either going to drop at Bad Blood or Survivor Series, but one of those two. I doubt they get to the Rumble before these two finally lock up.
Agreed. I mean, Bad Blood, there's something in the water, and pun intended there, because there has to be some intense feuds that culminate at Bad Blood, because the pay-per-view itself, that's what it entails. Doesn't Randy have more titles than almost any active wrestler? Oh, that's a good question. I might have to get back to you on that one. I know John Cena has 16, he's tied Ric Flair. Randy's right at 14, right? He's a few 14. Off. Yeah. So if he beats Gunther, it'd be 15, and then he just needs 2 to tie Cena. And me personally, fellas, that's what I want to see. I want to see 2 16-time champions go at it for the belt. I don't know how you do it, but that's what I'd want to see. Speaking of champions challenging for the belts tonight, fellas, we've got some WWE Tag Title #1 Contender Series. We've got A-Town Down Under taking on the Street Profits, and we've got DIY, the former champs, just lost those titles last weekend, going up against Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. Let's start with A-Town Down Under and the Street Profits. Who's got some hot takes here from this match? Who wants to kick us off? Don't everybody.
Well, I noticed on Twitter, and then someone slid into my DMs. If you really zoom in on those belts, they don't have the Bloodline names on them yet. So, I got a feeling, you using my crystal ball, which is completely broken, so don't hold it against me, but I think DIY gets through the finals, and I think they're going to – I mean, they have enough heel teams, but they definitely have to do something with the Street Profits, but I definitely see DIY getting something out of it. You're not going to go to your hometown and lose and not get something out of it.
Agreed. Over the top talk, boys. Let's start off with Big A over here. He's shaking his head. It looks like he's got something to say.
Yeah.
Spit.
Mike,
say something.
Look, don't kick me off the show, all right? But I'm not a DIY fan, all right? I'm not a fan of DIY. I think it's time for the Profits to get their opportunity. Like Dawkins said on SmackDown, it's been 3 years since they've had gold. So I think it's time. They're at the top of their game. The fans love them. I think it's time for them to pull the trigger on these guys and give them what the fans want. We want to see the Profits walk out of any PLE in the future. But we want to see it at Bash in Berlin. Please give us the Profits. Please.
I like it, Anthony. Listen, hey, no hate. Hey, you're not a fan of DIY? No worries.
Yeah,
we keep perspectives and opinions. Everyone's got different ones. They got different favorites. So no worries. No kicking out here of the Nightcap. Never, ever. Big O, finish us off here. What's your hot take? And then we're going to talk a little bit about Yes Boy.
First of all, I just want to say I can't wait until Austin Theory turns face. I just want to point that out. I think we're seeing signs of that today, where he threw him in the Waller in the match with Kevin Owens, was it? So
good call.
But for the tag team gold, any one of these tag teams are licking their chops seeing Tonga Loa with the title belt. So, I mean, I'm gonna go with Anthony here. I would like to see the Street Profits. DIY, me and Anthony talk all the time. They just don't hit with both of us, and I feel like the Street Profits have been there for a while. I feel like it's their time, their opportunity. But I just don't know if the Bloodline are going to drop the belts just yet. But I do think it's going to be the Bloodline versus the Street Profits.
Okay.
I got a question for all you gentlemen. If you notice the way the trends go with the tag team titles lately, it seems like they're never on PLEs. It's always a SmackDown before or a Raw after. What match would it take for them to actually get it on a PLE?
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a great question, actually.
It's a phenomenal question. Ah, man. Maybe. I don't know what ends up happening, but like,
we can come back to it if you want.
No. This is a great question. You got me thinking here. I could make a stake for it. All depends on what happens with the world title picture on SmackDown. But I could say you could argue Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline for the tag titles could make the PLE if the Bloodline retain. Now, if the Street Profits got the titles or DIY got the titles, I don't know, man. I couldn't give you a team off the top of my head, really. What do you guys think down there?
I just want to possibly, if they were to go this road and trade Sammy and Jay over to SmackDown, I could see that potentially being a match PLE worthy. Like when you have Sammy and Jay versus the Bloodline, but that's kind of all I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good one. I would agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, like last year, we had Cody and Jay working together, so I could see, a Cody and KO tag team soon. Cody and KO kind of go after the Bloodline as a tag team, and then we can get a double champ Cody.
I am mad at that. Eric, what do you think? You posed the question now. Now you have to answer your question. What are your thoughts? What two teams could do it?
I definitely see it's going to have to be something Bloodline-wise, but I mean, I come from a booking tag team, so I like to be more of the fantasy booking style. But can you imagine if, Roman, who is a free agent, maybe he wants to challenge them with maybe a partner like Jey Uso? Because that will definitely get it onto a PLE.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I like the fantasy booking. Speaking like booking like a mark, imagine a universe where Carmelo Hayes beat Cody Rhodes clean on draft night and kept building momentum to be a legitimate challenger for the WWE Championship. He could have been ready for it now. Imagine a universe. I can imagine that universe, fellas. Go listen to Booking Like a Mark. Go check these guys out. Him, Mark, Alexis, right? You got a whole squad now. We got all sorts of Booking Like a Mark. I love it, guys. I love it. That's a great question, Eric. Thanks for asking.
We'll call it a faction.
A faction. I like a faction. I was like tag team, faction, stable. Go with all the classics. An Uso reunion and the tag titles are on a PLE again. There it is. I don't know if this is the founder, if this is Nitram, the one that makes them say, oh, damn. If this is Chano Hayes. I don't know if this is the other 8 sides of 4 sides of the ring. Maybe they're cousins, sisters, brothers. But an Uso reunion, fellas, they might be hitting on that one. They might be right. Let's take a look here on the other side of the tag team division. On the women's side, we've got Jade Cargill, Alba Fire going on one-on-one action, and this match doesn't even get us out the gate before everybody comes and runs chaos. The big 3 reunite, though. Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, and I'm a big fan of all 3 of these women. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm not going to ask you an initial question on this match. You can give me your thoughts here as you discuss it. What are your thoughts on WWE pushing a lot more women's factions? We'll go to Eric on this one first.
I hate to say it, but I think everyone, if they're following the product, they saw it coming. They saw Naomi would get back with them. She was feuding with Blair. You knew it was coming sometime. I just don't know what the payoff is. Will they put the belts back on them? Are they going to set it up where all 3 of them are going to fight and Jade's going to break away and then challenge for a title? It's a little murky, but I think it's a good call to at least put more eyes on that tag division.
I like it. Let's go to the big A here. What are your thoughts here on this match or just more women's factions in general in WWE?
All right, I'm sorry. My thing was kind of lagging a little bit. It's glitching out.
Uh-oh. All right, we'll go to
All right,
Owen
I think
here.
we're good now. I think we're better.
We're better.
All right.
You're frozen, but it's all
about
right.
the
We can
women's
hear you.
faction.
Oh boy. I think we lost Anthony. All right, Owen, go for it. What are your thoughts?
I do like this new, first of all, when Naomi's music hit, the crowd pop was like amazing. I was like, damn. But yeah, in general, I do like these factions starting to form, especially with the amount of women we have now on the roster. But I would like to, kind of going off topic a little bit, I would like to see them have another singles title to work with, just because there's so many of them on the roster. So,
well, I'm so very happy you said that, Owen. Welcome back, Anthony. I'm glad the Wyatt Six didn't take you for long.
How we doing? We're back.
Because it was announced by the game Triple H today that there will be starting on Wednesdays. In addition to WWE Speed, the men's championship, the women will now also have a WWE Speed championship with a tournament to culminate the first WWE Speed women's champion. So maybe not exactly what we were asking for when it comes to like a women's mid-card title, but the women are getting another title. So hopefully it leads to something good. All right, Anthony, what are your thoughts on these factions here? All right. Well,
Wyatt Six is not agreeing with them tonight.
They are cooking my man tonight. Anthony, if you hear us, I'm trying to buy time here because you got the man's shirt on. So figure out these tech issues. But listen. Oh, he's reloading, folks. What happened now? This is why we love live streaming. Yeah, anything's possible. I don't have to worry about editing. I don't have to worry about anything. I just have to worry that the Wyatt Six don't get my co-hosts because for some reason.
Should I go get my lantern now just in case?
Yeah, I mean I would absolutely. Because I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna hop Anthony out for a sec till we figure that out here. But fellas, I like the women. I like the direction that we're seeing. At the end of the day, I love my shout out to them over at Black Masses and Constellation. My main girl, Torin, she called this 2 weeks ago. She was out there. She's tweeting. She's like, why not put Blair Davenport with Alba and Isla? Make them the Hex Girl. She said that. I'm giving her full credit to this. I got my Hex Girl socks on. I can't prove it to you because I'm not going to give away the dogs for free. Never. You want that? You got to go to the spicy link. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte Flair return. Need to make some room for her in the women's division. Flair versus Cargill. Let's get into that. Charlotte
That would be
Flair.
great.
The clock is ticking, and we're not talking about Tiffy time. We're talking about the clock for Charlotte to return to the ring. Do you think that's on the horizon here soon?
A match like that can only be at Mania. 100%.
Owen?
I was actually just about to bring this up because we'll probably mention it later. I do think Charlotte's going to return to probably face Nia Jax. I could see that. I do think when she does return, it's gonna start. I'm gonna make my WrestleMania prediction right now. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton for the title. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So.
Yeah, I know someone in this group before did have that as a SummerSlam prediction, that the Queen would come back and feud with the Queen. I'm just saying, and it wasn't me.
Who could that be? I did think Charlotte was gonna confront Nia at SummerSlam, so I do like that. Owen, Anthony, welcome back, brother. How are you?
It's okay. We're on SmackDown. And the Wyatt Six still has a hold of me. It's crazy.
I don't know what's going on. Did you do something? Did you Chad Gable somebody, man? You know what I'm saying? Did you mess with Owen? We gotta have a conversation here. Don't mess with my man Big O. All right, Big A.
Yeah, I think I learned my lesson now. All
right, good. Because I've been waiting for you. Because I gotta get you. This is your guy. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the megastar, the new United States champion, L.A. Knight. Is here. And Anthony,
yep.
Tell the people your thoughts here on tonight's promo from the megastar.
The promo is great. His promos every week are chef's kiss. They're beautiful. You know, he gets the crowd going. We love this man. The open challenge starting. You know, they're gonna have the competition going through. Hopefully, I was hopeful. You know, can't always have the winners you want. Santos Escobar is moving on, but you know, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see where this goes on to and where.
Uh-oh. They got him. You still there, Ant? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
We'll turn this into a
yeah, I'm
Verizon
here.
commercial. All right. Go
Oh, they
ahead.
have me. The Wyatt Six has me. Oh my God. I was saying that I was hopeful that Andrade would win tonight for the challenge, but you know, Santos won. You know, he's moving on. So hopefully, you know, we get a good match out of this. Out of whoever wins, we get LA Knight putting on a banger match for the US Championship. So I'm here for it. As long as LA Knight's in it, I'm here for it. You know, I'm gonna glaze LA Knight until the end of time. He's my guy. I love this man. I don't care. I love him.
Oh man, I can't keep up with these sayings that you guys come up with, man. Your guys' generation is crazy. And my man said the glazing for LA Knight is
Yep.
at an all-time high. You'd think this man just got a dozen glazed donuts from Krispy Kreme. Uh,
Yep.
Eric, what did you think about Mr. LA Knight's
At first, I
championship?
wasn't sure where that matchup was going for, but once I saw the finish, you know, Andrade and Hayes, they're not done. I personally, let's make it a fatal four-way. Then you don't have to worry about LA dropping the title. You can continue the feud between Hayes and Andrade, and you can have Escobar just eat the pin, but it won't hurt him because it was a fatal four-way.
Okay. I could see that down the line. I think LA Knight is going to get a quick win under his belt here with Santos Escobar. Big O, what's going on down there, man? You've been too quiet for my liking. Talk to the people. What's cooking? What's going on in that mind of yours?
I just want to say, can we normalize keeping theme songs? I hate the new theme song for LA Knight. I'm not gonna lie.
I really like it. I'm just glad Def Rebel didn't, Def Rebel it up.
But I wasn't too shocked just because Santos Escobar and LA Knight fought a couple weeks back. We've seen Melo and Andrade kind of going at each other. I am excited that we're going to see another one of those Andrade versus Melo matches. They always cook. Santos and his jobbers, I don't think are going to beat LA Knight. So the path for LA Knight, I think it's just like Anthony said, like a lot of people have been saying, I think it's going to be a lot of open challenges from him. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, I called it, the US Championship Open Challenge. I'd love to see them revive the US title Open Challenge in some capacity. I'm a bad podcast host tonight, guys. I was worried about poor Anthony and the Wyatt Six coming for him. We got to go to some of these comments when we were talking about the women. Put the women's tag titles on NXT, give the women an IC title or a US title, could call them the Miss America champion. Okay, four sides of the ring. I'm mad at that, fellas. I'm not mad at that at all. Cargill is not ready for Charlotte. Unfortunately, I would agree to that, but if there's one dance partner that could really make Jade shine in the ring, I think Charlotte could do it for her. I think she could carry the match. Just saying. SmackDown may not have a deep roster of main eventers for Cody Rhodes, but the mid-card is stacked with challenges for LA Knight. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Mark. 100%, guys. We talk a lot about how the heel department is lacking on SmackDown. Right, Owen? Didn't we just have this conversation last week? The heel department for poor Cody's lacking to the point where we're getting KO and we're probably going to turn him heel. Same thing with Randy. So, valid statement made here. The mid-card for SmackDown is thriving. Get me Apollo Crews in that mix. Get me Corbin in that mix. All of these guys, give them some shine. There's so much talent. Think LA Knight has a chance to make the U.S. title somewhat prestigious again.
It's interesting to think, too, with the way how that mid-card is really stacked, how it really looked like Logan Paul that could have been so much better because there's so many good people who could have challenged them. But, hey, it's in the past.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. Like, we could have got Logan Paul versus Apollo Crews, Logan Paul versus Baron Corbin, Andrade. There's a lot of meat was left on the bone so to
Mhm.
speak, with that title run. I'm glad it is in the past at the end of the day. Derek's Wrestling Choice and see this Carmelo Andrade feud is starting to get good. They will definitely run it back sooner than later. Honestly, give them the bar treatment. Do a best of 7. Let them just go out there and cook. I agree with Owen. These guys have incredible chemistry. Looks like Anthony. I don't know what's going on with poor Anthony, man. I'm sorry for this man. I'm sure we'll figure it out one of these days. Wrestling doesn't have genuine champions nowadays, maybe. I wouldn't say that. I think there have been some that aren't, but for the most part, we've got some genuine champions in WWE right now, right? I think so. What do you think, Eric?
Sammy was a pretty genuine champion, though, with the IC title, especially with that Mania and everything. They really built it up with. I mean, he ran into Kevin Owens, he ran into Gable when he was a face. His wife and everything. I mean, that was pretty genuine, because I think
Yeah.
also a lot of us didn't even see that him walking out with the IC title at Mania. So I have to say, if you're going genuine wise, that's probably the last instance in my book of something truly genuine happening.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on this? We got a comment here from my man Dami Feds. Cody is the definition of a champion. I agree to that, Dami. Do you agree to this, Owen?
I do. And I do want to kind of follow up on the last one. I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but does it feel like these matches, the last couple pay-per-views, kind of like all of them have been a little bit too predictable? Like you kind of know the outcome. Because like in going into the LA Knight match, we kind of knew he was going to win. Cody, I feel like all of Cody's matches here, I just feel like the title matches have just been a little too predictable. Like there hasn't been a moment where I'm just watching and I'm like shocked by the winner, but
I could see that. I mean, do you feel that way, Eric? Do you feel that SummerSlam was too predictable?
I mean, I think the only match SummerSlam, I mean, Mark and I, we do predictions all the time. And, I remember the first time we sat down a couple months ago, we're like, oh, we're probably going to have the same picks. That's what it is most of the time. And we're batting with, winning percentage of 750 and up. So they are a little too predictable, but I think it's also you're going through, you pick up stuff. I mean, it's like you watch a horror movie. Hey, someone's going to get you behind the door. I think all of us have trained ourselves enough where we know what's going to happen, and it's WWE, it's a hometown, you're going to lose. So they're going like that, but I will say the storytelling is better. So take it with a grain of salt. It's either you have really good storytelling, but it's predictable, or terrible storytelling, and you have no idea who's going to walk out with the belt.
I would argue, and Owen, I would say this, at the end of the day, I know what you mean, because like I looked at SummerSlam and I nailed my predictions. The only one I got wrong was Gunther and Priest, and that was just because I wanted Priest personally to win, and I let my personal fandom, affect my predictions, quote unquote. And I know, in our PWI scorecards, I got cooked by Booking Like a Mark. So Owen, I would say for us as wrestling podcasters, wrestling content creators, we look at it with a really hard magnifying glass. So I think like sometimes, like, because we see what's going on and it's predictable to us because we're putting that scope on it. Now, what I want to say with Eric is also, I think that ties in hand with it. I think it's because the storytelling is so good. Some of those results are predictable because the storyline is telling you exactly how things are going to play out. Where it's like in the past, we've had those bad storylines, call it what it is with, Vinnie Mac, where like it was unpredictable, but the story itself was hot, utter trash. And that's why it was unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think both of you put those two together, and I think you kind of have that reasoning, right?
Yeah. And also, if you think
definitely.
it's predictable, message me. I would be more than happy to add us to our little faction we have going predictions, because my main theme was me and Marky, we've done predictions. This is going back years ago before we really got cooking on the podcast and everything. And it's great because a lot of us podcasters all have almost the same picks, but we use the scorecards because it's great because Looking Like a Mark completely schooled us all.
There it is.
And took
I am
the
the
points
king.
and took off with the championship belt. So I'll get a message you later, Owen. I'll be happy to add you because I think it adds a little extra dimension because we all follow the product. I think we're following it a little more, all of us, because we're in the media system now and social media. So once you see and get the feel for it, it just adds a different level to it where you know what's going to happen. But hey, is someone going to beat me in points? So we'll add you so you got a taste of that.
We'll get you in there, Owen. You and Anthony. We got to get some more people in there. Make it fun. Everyone who has gold in WWE is a perfect fit at the moment. Ooh, agree or disagree, Eric?
I would say SmackDown wise, yes. I think everyone there it does fit the bill of having the title. I think for Raw with Braun winning, it kind of adds to it. I don't know how I feel about what they're doing with the title picture right now on Raw because I thought that Damian Priest was good. Gunther, it's a hometown situation, so are they gonna do that? It just makes it a little tough, but if they have a plan for it, and I heard some rumors that you have a man who you can't see might want to challenge him for a belt, then story-wise, I think you're good. But we don't have enough information in place to say it's 100%. But if I'm giving percentage, I'll say about 93, 95%.
I like it. Owen, agree or disagree with four sides of the ring here?
Disagree. I don't like. Now you might hate me for this, but I don't like our world heavyweight champion Gunther. I like his ring ability. I think he's amazing, but I think he's just too boring. If that makes sense, I just don't. I don't like his promos that much. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Gunther. Also, if we're talking about tag team belts, I will say Finn and JD. I guess it kind of makes sense now, but I just don't like those two as champions.
All right, I respect that. I don't. I agree with you there. I think the Raw tag titles need to go somewhere else for a bit. I got to show this comment because you guys were kind of giving me slack about this before we went live. I know that's Roman, but that really looks like Seth Rollins. We literally had this conversation before we went live because it was like this, right? And then they're like, "Oh, is that Seth?" And I'm like, "No, it's Roman." And then I go like, "No, that looks like Seth still." I'm like, "Well, there's the shirt, head of the table with the Superman punch." So
I blame the Funko Pop. They all look the same.
They all look the same, exactly. Who's women's tag champs? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the current women's tag champs, Dami Feds. And it looks like them and Jade Cargill and Bianca are going to still be for the
I give them props, though. At least they're going to even NXT because there was a time where it was undisputed champion. They merged the NXT titles with it, but nobody even cared about them. So at least with that, and you never know, too, I'm going to add on to this. Now with all the TV deals about to take off with NXT with CW and everything, you may have champs like that. They may actually put it on two huge stars because they can then put them on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
That right there, what you just said. Listen to this man, people. Watch this man. Listen to them because he just cooked, and I would not be surprised. Mike hit them with the but wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Jade and Bianca need to take the tag team championship to the next level. Yeah, I'd like to see them win it, but I also do. I'm a big fan of Alba and Isla. I'm a big fan of theirs. I like their work. So I'd like to see them hold the titles for a little bit longer. I would like to see them go to NXT more often as well, like Eric said. Owen, any thoughts here? We've been ADHD braining it like crazy this episode of the Nightcap. So any closing thoughts here about anything that we just discussed?
I do like what you guys both said, especially with the talent we're seeing on NXT now that we used to not get, just because the main roster is so it's amazing, filled with females now. But yeah, I do like the idea of bringing the tag team gold over to that show. I'm glad that show has a mid card for the woman too, but I'm hoping we see a mid card for the woman just on like regular, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. But yeah,
I like it. All right, folks, we got the new WWE Women's Champion. Nia Jax is here next week. She got bumped. She got bumped from SmackDown tonight.
She got,
I was a little upset.
she got the Jimmy Kimmel treatment of Matt Damon. Sorry, we ran out of time.
I was not happy about this. That is no way to treat your queen and your new women's champion. So Triple H, shame. Big shame on that one. But she'll be here next week with Princess Tiffy hosting. So the hostess with the mostest. We're going to get into what everybody wants to hear our thoughts on, and that is the return of the OTC. But before we get there, folks, fellas, I gotta hijack the show here for a sec. I've got some breaking news here. Mouthing Off with Mike in conjunction here. This weekend will be a double Mouthing Off with Mike feature. There will be 2 episodes dropping. One will be my weekly show, and then joining me is Luke from the Fantasy Faction. They run an incredible fantasy league for wrestling content creators and podcasters. Eric will talk about it here one of these days. I've told them to reach out to you guys with Booking Like a Mark. I know Owen and Anthony, you guys are a part of Fantasy Faction, and you guys know Luke and Anthony very well. They are some amazing guys. They are some amazing podcasters. They have their own podcast as well, where they break down some of the stats and they talk about the current events. So Luke and I are going to talk a little SummerSlam recap, and we're going to talk a little bit about what inspired them to start Fantasy Faction. But that's not the breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The breaking news is that starting Sunday, there's going to be a new segment show coming to Mouthing Off with Mike, and that is going to be Mouthing Off with Mike presents One-on-One with top-notch Dyson Bennett, where I will go ahead and conduct the first interview that I've done with my good friend, my good brother. You've seen him on Mouthing Off with Mike and the Nightcap. Top-notch Dyson Bennett. We're going to learn a little bit more about him, what inspired him to become a wrestler, and as well, what's cooking down the pipeline in general. So thank you guys for allowing me to take over here a little bit, but let's get back into the action here, and well, I'll show the people here a little one-on-one with top-notch Dyson Bennett. So fellas, we're nearing the end of the show. We've got one last thing to talk about, and that is the return of the only, the original, the only one that matters, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And fellas, no Paul Heyman, no Jimmy Uso yet, but an ass whooping for that Timu ass bloodline. Let's go to Owen. Give me your thoughts and the people's thoughts on the return of the OTC.
I think he looked amazing. I do want to say I'm like one of Tonga Loa's biggest haters, and I loved every single chair shot that guy got. I don't think that guy deserves a roster spot at all, Mr. Pirate Man. So I was glad to see Roman just completely take him out of the situation. I was kind of shocked. I thought Roman was going to get, I thought he was going to get assaulted in some type of way. I'm glad he didn't. I'm just waiting for that time, because I think that's when we're going to get the return of Jimmy Uso, maybe some other Bloodline members. But yeah, Roman, I think, looked amazing, and I'm ready to see him back in that ring. So
I like it. Eric, how'd you feel about this return here tonight?
I mean, the return that everyone saw coming, it needed to happen. It's, if you think of SmackDown for the past year, 2 years, it was either you had Roman, when he was on, he was either starting off or ending the show. It felt good. It felt right for him to be kind of in the main event segment. I think, I hate to say this, but I feel like right now this Bloodline is an experiment. It just, it's like when they give you a new package, it's like, brand new box, brand new flavor. I'm not a fan of the flavor. I'm not a fan of the box. Bring back the old Bloodline. Let them cook. I think as faces, they'll give them a little better potential as a storyline. Also, I hate to say this, but Roman was a little bit of a butthead. To PG say it.
He's an asshole. I'll take the slack.
Awesome. Now he has to patch things up. He has to go find Jimmy. He has to go find Jay. He needs to go visit the wise man, probably in a hospital bed. Hopefully not like Stone Cold visiting him. But he has to patch up holes. And I think with this storyline the way it is, when he builds up his team, he's going to have to patch it up. It's going to be like the Avengers, where you have, they're going around recruiting the team. Now he has to recruit his team back to fight the four. My question for you guys is, with the way this is going, there's a couple pay-per-views in between. We all kind of have a feeling War Games will be something involving the bloodline. But where do you see Roman getting his first shot at Solo?
Oh man, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark, and I'm gonna put it out there. Bash in Berlin. Owen's kind of deliberating. He's thinking. What do you think, Owen? Are you shaking your head in agreement?
I want it to happen. I just feel like they're gonna have. I mean, it makes sense. I do kind of. I think the way that they kind of want to go is. I don't know if Jimmy doesn't return. I was gonna say Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and whoever joins his team. I don't know if we're gonna see a one-on-one. I want to, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know.
I'll tell you where I've thought of this through. Last year at SummerSlam, we had Tribal Combat. I think they'll bring back Tribal Combat, and I think they'll have them to fight at Bad Blood 101, and then from there, they can have people interfere. That's going to set us up and walk us into War Games perfect. But I don't see them meeting up at Bash of Berlin. You already have 2 title matches. It's usually a 5-match card. That leaves 3 other matches.
Yeah. I see your point. Yeah, it's got to be Bad Blood. It's probably going to be Bad Blood. I mean, the premium live event's named Bad Blood, and I know damn well it's not just because to throw ode to the past. It has to do with the bloodline itself. I know what they're doing here. I see the writing on the wall. You're cooking. Wait, no Dom stash? No, you guys failed. Everyone failed. We needed 60 subscribers on Mouthing Off with Mike to hit 200. There's 63 people viewing this right now. Had you guys had subscribed before July 31st, I would have done tonight's stream with the Dom stash. So we'll have to run it back another day. But he's back. Shout out Kayfabe Keith. You've seen him here. Shout out Sean Lucas. Wrestling of Destiny drops tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. On Boom Broadcasting. Acknowledge him. I'm acknowledging him. Roman Reigns was catching fire on that Temu bloodline. Can't wait to see the bloodline Civil War. Absolutely. Shout out to the sign that was in attendance the other week that had the Temu bloodline.
Like saying Solo Sikoa is the Wish.com version of Roman Reigns.
I said I like how Cody calls him a cosplay tribal chief. I think that's perfect. Perfect. Or as our good brother Kicking It with Leo says, the weekday. I'm so glad that Mike is interviewing Top Notch. For a second, I thought the announcement was that he'd be going one-on-one with The Undertaker. No, I'm not going on one-on-one with The Undertaker, thankfully. Oh, my goodness. I'd be cooked. Patchy the Pirate Tongaloa. Shout out to Owen on that one. He building Patchy. The return to SmackDown was fire. My guy debuted the Bloodline Cactus Jacks as well. I love a little sneaker watch. I did peep those. I couldn't tell what those were, so I guess Roman Reigns is officially a Jordan athlete. Bad Blood, Roman Solo. Yep. Eric has it backwards. Roman will go one-on-one with Solo after War Games. They could face off at the Royal Rumble. Uh-oh. You guys have a lot to talk about this week on the
I know.
There's some heat there. We could get Roman versus Jacob at Bash in Berlin. Listen, 4 sides of the ring. I don't know.
I think that match is too good. Too good to do it now.
Too good to do it now? Owen, do you think it's too good to do it now?
No. Unless Jacob's, injured. I was just sitting here thinking, at one of these pay-per-views, whether it's Bash in Berlin or Bad Blood, I think that it will be when we see the return of Jimmy Uso. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I was shocked to not to see Jimmy tonight. I figured he was going to kind of super kick Solo when Solo was backing up the ramp. I was like, oh, Jimmy's going to totally just show up behind him and he's going to bump into him and hit him with a super kick. And, maybe him and Roman have a face-off. But I agree with Eric. I've been saying it for a long time. The only way that this story makes sense is if Roman has to go on the redemption arc. He has to. There's no way. Like, what if we were in a group together, the three of us, all right, and I just had you guys doing my bidding, and I was whooping your asses on the flip side, and now the family has decided that they don't want nothing to do with me. You got your cousin who's pretending to be the tribal chief. You're gonna join back up with me and help me? No, you're not. You're not going to join back up with me. I'm not helping you. If I was in the group, I'm not helping you. So I agree. There needs to be some sort of story that progresses where Roman shows up on Raw and talks.
I think with Jacob, I think everybody wants to see Roman fight Solo because he wants to get back the tribal chief and everything. But as a match wise, I could care less about Solo. I think most people do. I think everybody wanted to see Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns because that would just completely be a massive fight. So I think out of the players from the Bloodline, Solo only for the title, but Jacob will be the match of that Bloodline.
I just want you guys to know that because they're listening, since we're wiretapped by Triple H, just because Owen has a dislike for Tangaloa, it's going to be Tangaloa versus Roman Reigns at Bash at Berlin, just to spite Owen. I have that feeling. Patchy's going to get himself eliminated from the Royal Rumble of Life at Bash in Berlin, potentially. Roman versus Jacob would definitely be a PLE type of match. This would definitely be a smash mouth slugfest banger. That's it. That's what you want. Yes. Thank you, Kayfabe Keith. Thank you for your contributions tonight. Fellas, any final thoughts here on SmackDown? Let's start with Owen.
I think it was everything we had to see. We saw the first part of Roman's, not really redemption arc, but just like his revenge arc, I guess you can say. I do think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. He's going to have to go to Raw eventually to go confront Jay. I do want to see him join back in, but I do love the solo run we're getting from Jay, so I'm very curious what's going to happen once he gets back into this family feud. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all these storylines. We got Nia Jax next week, and hopefully next week we see Austin Theory maybe turn on Grayson Waller. So
I need it. Eric, final thoughts here on SmackDown.
I think, like you said, it's definitely going to be a Roman Reigns revenge tour and redemption. He wants revenge on the Bloodline Timu edition, and he also wants to. He's got to patch things up, but I think the good part is too, he doesn't have to actually be there. He can film parts where he's looking for Jay and looking for Roman's looking for what's his name?
Jimmy,
the wise men. So there's enough
Paul.
you can do. He doesn't have to be there every week, but you can film stuff and stretch it out. This could be either. This is going to be a long. What are we? August. We got to at least go to April. We got 8 months. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. We are now in extra innings when it comes to the Bloodline story. There's a little callback there to the bottom of the third from about 2 years ago or a year ago or something from Paul Heyman. Honestly, to piggyback off your thoughts, Eric, I'd love to see Roman just fly to Paul's house, knock on his door. Paul's wearing a neck brace or something, and he's like, wise man, I need you. I need my wise man. And I would like to see, pre-recorded videos. If surprise appearances on Raw, there's so much potential. Your cohort booking like a mark here, your stablemate said, what if we're all wrong? Listen, if we're all wrong, that won't be the first time. That won't be the last time I'm wrong. That's for damn sure. I'm usually
That's
wrong.
coming from the guy who ended up smoking both of us with predictions. So he's just trying to get our goat, okay?
Yeah, he's just trying to hype some stuff up. It's the return of the big dog. I love it. Maybe it's not predictable, and Roman Reigns has to recruit former enemies like Cody, LA Knight, and Kevin Owens. I've toyed with this idea and this notion that Roman recruits some of his past adversaries, and that would be something definitely interesting to see, because I don't think, then you're not getting that Bloodline Civil War, and I I don't know how I
Hey,
feel
listen,
about that,
in,
fellas.
in War Games, it's 4. Roman, the Usos makes 3. Who's the 4th?
It's probably Sami Zayn, right,
Sami
Owen?
Zayn, yeah.
Sami Zayn. The honorary Us makes a return. He puts on the T-shirt one more time. The crowd goes ballistic. WWE shop gets a bunch of merch sales. So yeah, you know how it goes.
I just
Oh,
want to throw in a last
Survivor
point
Series is
here.
Vancouver, right?
Vancouver. Yep.
Canada.
Canada. Oh, Canada.
I am a
Zilla.
fan of people who are face, and I can't wait to see this new bloodline as a face. You know, we saw them for years as heels. It's going to be very interesting to see them all come together as faces. So
I agree. This is going to be a different dynamic. I don't know if they'll be true faces. I feel like they probably will be true faces. I don't know if Roman will. I think Roman will be tween. I think he's going to he's going to ride that line. He has to. I don't know if I can. I guess time will tell, fellas. I'm not going to speculate on that. He'll need Paul because Paul will be the only person to get people to side with Roman. There it is. 4 Sides of the Ring. Go check out 4 Sides of the Ring. Go check out their conversation with Eric from this past week because they're cooking tonight, man. You guys hijacked my comment section with all of these incredible ideas. So this is what it's about here. It also humbles Roman's character, helping with the face turn.
Mhm.
Kayfabe Keith. I love it, fellas. Eric, tell the people what you guys got going on over at Booking Like a Mark. What you got going on with Rick 8-Bit. You make some incredible 8-bit videos. Tell the people what you got going on. Oh, and then you tell the people what you got going on, and then we're out of here.
I got a lot of things going on. It's the beginning of football season. I've done 2 Tecmo Super Bowls, made my own versions of them, and tis the season for some predictions using Tecmo Super Bowl. Those will be dropping this month. I just dropped a Facebook group so we can get a group of people together who are wrestling podcasters, but also wrestling fans. I've seen a couple groups where people just post stuff, but they don't interact. So this will be a group where you could interact, ask your questions. Who knows? You might end up on the Nightcap, 4 Sides of the Ring, out of pocket. Work might use you for some audio clips. So I think it's there's enough people and we all get along together. We could build a good community. Also with our picks and everything, we could bust each other's chops even more, especially when someone gets everything right. So that's that. And I know Mark's working on some good stuff for the podcast and being on camera. I will say there will be a collaboration of Halloween this year between Booking Like a Mark and Rick 8-Bit. Start paying attention to our YouTubes and start subscribing. The script is starting to be made, and I'm pretty sure no one's going to want to miss it.
Oh, I like it. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Eric's channel. Go subscribe to Booking Like a Mark. Follow them on social media. Owen, tell the people what you guys got cooking on Over the Top Talk.
all right, so first of all, Over the Top Talk, you can find it on any social media platform. Just Over the Top Talk, no spaces. Stuff coming up. I will be going to kind of a VIP Patriots practice on Sunday, and I'm going to be filming, taking videos, hopefully pictures of some of the players. I'm going to throw that on the Instagram on Sunday. On Wednesday, we should be doing our trivia night once again, bringing back the champ, kicking it with Leo. So send us a message to Instagram if you want to, join that. It should be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Our Bash in Berlin's predictions will be coming soon. So definitely tune in.
I like it. Fellas, thank you guys so much here for joining me on the Nightcap. We're going to have to go ahead and put some search parties out there. We may have to call up the dogs with the barrels on their necks to find Anthony because we don't know if the Wyatt Six, they might have finally got him. Well, thank you to Owen. Thank you to Anthony. He's not here, but he is Owen's other half of Over the Top Talk. So make sure you go subscribe to Over the Top Talk. Give him a follow. Tell him Mouthing Off with Mike sent you. Go subscribe to Eric 8-Bit on YouTube. Go check out Booking Like a Mark. Go follow them on social media. Everything is rolling on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Nightcap. I'm Mouthing Off with Mike. That's Eric 8-Bit. That's Owen from Over the Top Talk. That's it. Thanks for watching the Nightcap. Bye, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you here Monday night.